Thank you for joining us today. A Certain Sound daily video devotional. 2 Kings chapter 3. Here we are again. What a great chapter. The king of Israel, the king of Edom, and the king of Judah have joined forces against Moab. They've gone 7 days' journey. After going 7 days' journey, there's no water. And they're done. It's over. Jehoshaphat is the king of Judah. He makes an alliance with these two kings. He probably shouldn't have done that. Have you ever done something you know you should not have done? Well, Jehoshaphat does it, and it's interesting because all of a sudden the circumstances have gone sour. There's no water. And God will allow circumstances to go south when we've made a decision that probably we should have prayed about first. Have you made a decision that you really should have prayed about first, but you didn't because you thought you knew really what the obvious answer was? I have. I know I have. But that doesn't mean God doesn't love you, and it doesn't mean God won't help you. Because if you look at what Jehoshaphat does, okay, there's three kings, but here's what Jehoshaphat says in verse 11. But Jehoshaphat said, "Is there not here a prophet of the Lord that we may inquire of the Lord by him?" So in other words, the drought, the dryness, the no water for their cattle and their horses. In other words, they're going to lose the battle, the war. Those circumstances, those dry times in your life that are the result perhaps of a wrong decision. If those circumstances will get you to look to him, I'm here to tell you, he'll help you if you'll cry out to him. Jehoshaphat says, "Is there not?" All of a sudden, he wants to turn to God, which is a good thing because Jehoshaphat is bent that way. The other two guys aren't bent that way. But you'll notice here in verse 11, it says, "And one of the king of Israel's servants answered and said, 'Here is Elisha, the son of Shaphat, which poured water on the hands of Elijah.' And Jehoshaphat says, 'Oh, I've heard about him.' He says, 'The word of the Lord is with him.'" You want to go to a church where you hear a word from the Lord. If you're going through a drought spiritually, if you're going through a dry time spiritually, I think it would behoove us not just to look to God, but to say, "Lord, where is it that you want me to go?" His word is right here in front of us. May God give us a word from his word. But then also thank God for churches. And there maybe aren't that many around, I know. But there are some churches you can go to where you can get a word from God. I mean a word that doesn't beat around the bush. I mean a word that doesn't say, 12 steps to a better life. 16 steps to a better you. Friends, what we need is a word from the Lord that brings us down to our knees so that we then will look up to God. Remember with the publican? The publican said, "Have mercy on me, O God, a sinner." But the Pharisees said, "I thank thee, O God, I am not like other men." Friends, we need to be like the publican. And that is when we compare ourselves to the highest standard, which is God, we come out on the bottom. But when we compare ourselves to the lowest standard, we always come out on top. Hear what I'm saying. Jehoshaphat is a man of discernment. Thank you, Jesus. And friends, just because he made a wrong decision doesn't mean that God doesn't use the drought to get him to look to God and say, "Let's inquire of the Lord." And when he does, good things are about to happen. And they will happen for you if you will stop. Stop. Look at your circumstance. Don't blame God, but look to God and say, "Lord, what are you trying to tell me?" And he will answer you.
Thank you for watching A Certain Sound daily video devotional. Be sure to sign up for the iTunes podcast or daily email of A Certain Sound when you visit us online at www.acertainsound.com. A Certain Sound is a ministry of Word of Truth Christian Center in Bowling Green, Ohio. On behalf of Word of Truth Christian Center, I'm Sonetta. God bless, and we'll see you tomorrow.